I finally managed to read most of the contributions in Granta 173, which is an India special. I first finished reading the fiction section, in which there was short stories by Vivek, Shanbhag, Geetanjali, Shree, Umesh, Solanki, Jeymohan, then somebody named Devika, Rege, and as well as Saharu, Nussaiba, Kannanari. I liked most Umesh Solanki's A Friend from My Youth, which features an untouchable high school teenager, and the story ends in tragedy. I liked the writing very well. And then there is Jeymohan, a Tamil writer, and he wrote what is called Becoming a Tamil God. The story has an untouchable young man who is slated to be impaled on a stake as a punishment for something he had done. And he has a chance to escape the punishment, but he's determined to go through with it in order to become a Tamil god. A very sad story. And then there is this other story that is set in Kerala. The name is A Public Circumcision. And I thought it was going to be a sad one also, but it's hilarious. You must read it. It's a hilarious story. So those are the ones that I liked most. And, both Solanki's and Jeymohan stories are about untouchables. And that made me think for once, I'm not the designated writer about caste. Someone else had done that. And then the next section that I like is nonfiction. And so there is my piece. I am my mother's older brother, which is about my mother's dementia and me taking care of her full time. And then there is, Srinath Perur wrote about Indian space program and, the vision, the politics behind it, and what it used to be in the 1970s and what it is now with Hindu nationalist government in power. The writing is very good, but I think that he omitted to talk about the role of geopolitics behind Indian space program. It used to be America and the USSR, and I think maybe in future China will dictate it. And he says that the UN and other countries gave money to the Indian space program. I don't think anybody would give money without their own interests involved. The UN is not interested in India's development, India's alleviation of poverty, and or in Indian national pride. So there was me, and then this Srinath Perur, and then Snigdha Poonam. She wrote an essay, her interviewing of this ex-Maoist, because he surrendered to the police and now he lives a normal life. He works as a contractor. And what I found interesting was that he's still very proud of the things he and his comrades, the Maoist comrades, had done for the tribals in Jharkhand. And obviously he quit because he has some criticism of it, which also I agreed with. That was a good piece. And then there is Karan Mahajan. He wrote an essay called The Killing of a Canadian Sikh. If you remember, it's in 2023 December, a Canadian, though a Sikh, was murdered by foreigners on Canadian soil. And there was a huge hullabaloo in the Canadian Parliament about that. And as a retaliation, Indian government cancelled Canadian visas for a while, and I think that they're back to normal now. And not the other nonfiction piece I read was by Raghu Karnad. I recognize his name, and it's called Under the Ruins, and it's about Indian archaeologists and the diggings and ostensibly finding the evidence of Mahabharata. There is a very funny twist at the end. I won't tell you what it is. You must read it. So nonfiction, that was about it. And then there is a symposium on Indian languages, only main Indian languages. They omitted Odia, but they included Nepali. And the point of those, the symposium on Indian vernacular is that how, the problems involved in translating from Indian subcontinental vernacular to English. For example, Jerry Pinto, I like his writing, and I met him. I met him in Goa Arts Festival. He writes about Marathi language. He sometimes translates from Marathi to English, and he had this problem of re, how they say in Hindi, kya re, like that. So he didn't know how to translate that into English. If I were there, I would have proposed ya, like how in Indian English they say, what ya, no ya, yes ya, like that. But maybe it's dated because it's from my youth. Maybe nowadays the youngsters don't have any such thing specifically Indian. They just probably use the American things like dude or something. So that's the kind of things that they discussed in the Indian Language Symposium. And I'm not very into poetry, but I did read Amitav Krishna, Arvind Krishna Mehrotra and Sumana, and it's pretty good. And what is left is Salman Rushdie and Sanjay Subramaniam were interviewed. I didn't get a chance to read those interviews yet. And then there were writings or interviews with photographers on their photography, which I somehow feel is least interesting, but I cannot say that because I have yet to read. Because everything in this issue is very well written and interesting. Oh, one of the things I wanted to say is in the Language Symposium, there was a piece on Sanskrit. Before reading it, I thought, why Sanskrit? It's a dead language. Nobody speaks it, but I read it and it's very interesting. What else did I want to say? Oh, so that's all. And it's only until Monday that my piece is free to read on online in Granta website. And then after that, they will make somebody else's piece or story free for a few days. So it's kind of like a rotation. And in January, everything becomes free. Okay, I hope I got you interested in reading this Modi India Special Granta.